One of the easiest ways of adding value as an engineer is not writing code. It's removing pain. Pain for developers, pain for the users, pain for the product. If you've noticed that developers are doing something slow or in an annoying way, that's your signal. If a task feels stupid or clunky, that could be an opportunity. If you just complain about it, that's just adding fuel to the fire. And especially with AI now, we kind of have no excuse. So a real world example, we have an iOS app and we have a web app. Every time we want to enable them to edit their stuff on the web, it's not like a simple click. You've got to change the configs of each customer. So I just built a little GUI, like a front end GUI that you can easily just edit it there and then. You don't have to manually update each file and then refresh the page. It's a very specific niche task that we just have to do over and over again. I built that UI, front-end UI thing purely with AI and it fixed our problem. If they're doing something in a legacy way, is the UI so bad? In my company, the focus is not UI, but that's not really how software works in 2025. If there's any friction points of the UI, is there any stupid things that you need to double click on, so you need to go through many different breadcrumbs to get to a certain point? Streamline that UI. Is there different flows for the same action? Is there inconsistent button styles? I'm in a very small team and none of the other devs, their specialist is not UI stuff. So that's where I came in. Take action, be autonomous, make those tickets. You see something in the UI, you're like, oh, that's a bit weird. That's not in line with our other apps or our other styling or the brand. Always refer to the brand guide if you guys can find one. If your company doesn't have one, make one. Just think how an end user would use it. Think how devs carry out a task. If you need to use proxy servers, maybe write a script that just runs once in the morning and then it's running then for the whole day. And going back to the user side, they just see the end value front end, don't they? They don't think in components, they think in an experience. Using the software and it's painful, it's slow, it's annoying, it's repetitive. They're going to stop using it. We're going to lose customers. There's definitely going to be competitors that have better software. I tried to mentally sit in the customer's chair. Every time I create a new ticket, specifically UI or any product flow stuff, when you create a ticket, don't think of it as a ticket. Think of it as you're in the customer's chair. What are they trying to do? Are they getting confused doing something? What feels slow? What feels risky? If anything makes the customer hesitate, that's a bug, even if it works. This is not about rewriting the whole code. And if I'm being honest, if the code works, your boss who's not technically minded, if you say, I rewrite the whole code and it took me 5 days to do that, and then it did exactly the same thing as it did before, they're going to hate that. You've just charged me 5 development days for doing exactly the same thing as what it did before. It's just focusing on in and out little changes that add end value to the customer. And your CEO, your boss can see that. You remember where this thing was really slow or the customers were complaining a lot? I fixed it. This is a big point. You don't even be like, oh yeah, boss, I noticed that this thing, should I make a ticket for it? No. You make a ticket regardless, and then you fix it, and then you tell them. You bring results to them. Tiny improvements compound so fast at a startup. When you remove pain points, a few things happen. Devs move faster, bugs arise less, users trust the product more, and the company saves time and money. And this all comes back to layoffs. If you become the person in your team that makes things a lot smoother, that's going to be incredibly hard to replace. That's your value. You don't need permission to add value. Just pay attention, notice friction, and build small solutions. I was cruising for a while, in the weeds, doing my job. I felt as if I was lacking a bit, but then in the last month, I was like, whoa, no, I need to take a stand. So I've built solutions for them. One was adding completely new functionality that the company have been wanting for years, but didn't think it was possible, but I just built it with AI. And 2, this week actually, just created a developer thing. It's not going to be anything for the customers, but it's just going to enable us to go in and out of the code with the front end UI thing that I talked about earlier. And I'm just going to keep secretly doing that. I built something that fixes this and show it to your team. They'll love it. Your boss is going to be like, wow, you're onto something here.